What to sow in November? Today I am going to answer exactly that, because maybe you're wondering, what can I sow this month? Or even, can I sow anything this month? You really can. So we're going to be talking about what seeds to sow in November, and of course I'll be giving you my one seed that if you sow nothing else, you have to sow this. Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to month 11 of my monthly seed sowing guides that take you all the way through an entire year of seed sowing. And it's November already. How did that happen? And just check out the awesome colour behind me. Things are looking really gorgeous at the moment. If you're not used to sowing seeds late in the year, believe it or not, you absolutely can be sowing plenty of things in November and going into early winter. If for no other reason than in your veg gardens and your allotments, I'm sure you're starting to see bare patches where you've cleared away plants and now you've got soil. And that soil is perfect for growing things in. So let's get stuck in. Some of the seeds that we're going to be talking about today, you can direct sow, but others are just going to need that little bit of protection. Something like a polytunnel or a greenhouse, a cold frame, or possibly even just your windowsill. So let's get stuck in and talk about what you can sow. Okay, so let's kick off with salad leaves and leafy greens. Now, when it comes to sowing salads in November, certainly the list of available options does get a little bit smaller, but there are plenty of brilliant things that you can still be sowing. So to kick off with that, lamb's lettuce or corn salad. Have I ever mentioned this seed before? Lamb's lettuce or corn salad, good old lamb's lettuce or corn salad. Okay, yeah, maybe just once or twice, but it is a brilliant, hardy little leaf that is going to be quite happy growing outside in the really cool, grey, damp conditions. So make sure to get some of this sown. You can sow it under cover, but if you live in quite a mild climate, certainly it's mild here in Ireland, you can even direct sow it and grow it outdoors and you'll get lovely, nice crops for your salads. And then alongside that, I'm going with a nice hardy winter lettuce, which I've already been sowing for the last month or so. And it's a Cos lettuce and it's called Winter Density. This will just give me those standard salad leaves that I can add into any salad. Now, for me, that is pretty much it in terms of the list of seeds that I grow when it comes to salads. And that's because some of the other salad leaves aren't to my personal taste, but they are brilliant things to grow. So my other recommendations would be to pick out some Asian leaves, things like Mitsuna. That is going to grow really, really well for you. Also, mustard leaves, landcress and watercress. All of those can be really successfully started in November. But now let's talk about leafy greens, because there are another couple of leafy greens that you can get started that are going to be perfectly happy in our nice cool autumn conditions. The first one is another Asian green and it's bok choy or pak choy, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Now, all the way through this year, I've been growing tricoloured mix, which is 3 different types, and one is a ruby type and the other 2 are green. It's a lovely mix, and I'm going to be sowing more of that this month. And then the other thing is spinach. Now, if you're going to be growing spinach, you really are going to want to be giving this some protection, whether that's something like a polytunnel or a cold frame. If it has that little bit of protection, sow it now and you're going to have lovely leaves that you can obviously cook and add into dishes. Or when they're small, if you fancy harvesting them, you can cut them as baby leaves and add them into your salads. The next group of seeds, well, they're going to work really nicely if you grow them in seed trays or little containers on a nice sunny windowsill inside your house, and it's herbs. Last month, they were my pick of my one seed if you sow nothing else. If you didn't get to sow any last month, you can still sow some in November. I'm growing quite a simple mix of things. 2 different types of parsley, a flat leaf parsley, which is called plain leaf, and moss curled 2 parsley. And then alongside that, I'm also going to grow some coriander, some dill, some chives, and I might even get a little bit of basil started on the windowsill. All of these, with the nice warmth of your house and a little bit of light, are going to germinate nice and quickly, and then you can grow them on and harvest them for your cooking. Or even better, and this is something that I would do, is I would be inclined to let them grow, but only until they're really small, and then cut them and use them as garnishes in your food and on salads as little baby microgreens. The taste is amazing, and it's the kind of thing that you would get in a fancy restaurant. So you can level up your own cooking. Right, next up, let's talk about the allium family, encompassing onions and garlic. And there's no better jumping off point than spring onions, or salad onions, or scallions. Whatever you like to call them, they're a great seed to be sowing pretty much any time of the year. But if you want to be growing spring onions this late in the season, in November, you want to be going for something that's going to be nice and tough and nice and quick maturing. So for that reason, my recommendation is to go with Guardsman, because it covers both of those bases. It's going to be nice and quick maturing for you, but it's a nice winter hardy variety. Now, saying that, and even though in Ireland we have a nice, generally quite mild temperate climate, rather than direct sowing these outdoors, I'm going to be sowing these under cover. They just need that extra little bit of protection. But two other things in the onion family that you can just be planting straight out into your veg beds are onions and garlic. I talked about these last month. If you haven't had a chance to either plant your onions or your garlic yet, don't worry, it really isn't too late. And they are a great thing to be putting into your veg beds if you've recently cleared them away. You've got some nice bare soil and room to grow them. They're great value. This packet of about 30 sets really only cost me about €3 or €4. And what I'm choosing to go with is a variety called Radar. And then the same goes for the garlic. All I need to do is break these apart into individual cloves and plant them in the soil. These are called pink germador. These are going to produce really nice white garlic bulbs, but the cloves themselves have a lovely pink tinge and a great flavour. So certainly get yourself out to the garden centre or online and get yourself some onions and garlic. Okay, so the next seeds that I'm going to be talking about are just so robust and easy to grow that they are firm favourites with myself, and they are peas. Now, for starters, I'm going to recommend that you pick any pea variety that you want. Now, I'm going with pea meteor, and you're going to grow them for pea shoots. Now, you may have noticed that I have mentioned this more than once or twice over the last year. Pea shoots, pea shoots, pea shoots. Yeah, okay, definitely more than once or twice. But it's because I really love growing peas in this way, and I love growing anything that's going to make your harvests and your food feel that little bit special. And pea shoots do exactly that. They just really lift a salad or a dish and make it feel really, really special. So to grow them, so easy. All you need to do is put a nice, decent, thick layer of peas into either a pot or any kind of container and grow them on under cover. Something like a polytunnel will be fine, or even your windowsill. Within a week or two, you're going to have pea shoots that you can just snip off and eat, and they're absolutely delicious. But if you want an early crop of peas, you can be sowing peas in November to overwinter and then mature in the late spring. For that, what you're going to want are nice early varieties and nice hardy varieties. The first one, which we've just talked about, is Meteor. It is going to satisfy all of those requirements. Nice and hardy. It'll grow nice and quickly when it gets the conditions that it needs, and it's going to give you a nice early crop. The other great thing about it is it doesn't grow too big, so you don't have to grow it in a veg bed. You could grow it in a container if you like, which is even better because it means you can control its growing conditions and give it the best chance of success. The other variety, which I've got in this tin, is called Kelvedon Wonder. And again, it has all of the same benefits that Meteor does. A nice early but hardy variety of pea that grows, again, only to about 45 centimetres tall. So you can grow it in containers and you can get those nice early crops. Now, for both of these, you can direct sow them out in your vegetable garden or your allotment. But what you do need to be careful of is during the winter, pesky animals can dig them up and eat them. And you could find that all of your rows of peas get eaten by birds or mice or rodents or squirrels, you name it. So one way to get round that, if you can't grow them under cover or in pots, is to start them in containers. Just get them going, and once they're slightly bigger, just nice little hardy plants, then you can plant them out. Give them a nice covering of something like a fleece or net, and then you've got a much better chance of getting them through the winter and having success in the spring. Every month I love to bring you what might be a little bit of a curveball suggestion for something that you can sow. And this month, it's cauliflower, because maybe you think that you can only sow cauliflower at certain times of the year. Well, this variety is called cauliflower all year round. And the clue is in the name. You can sow it any time of the year. But for me, I think I would add a little bit of a caveat to that. You really need to know and understand your own larger climate and local growing conditions. For me personally, I think I would at the very least be starting this under protection. But check your local conditions against the information that comes with your seed packet, because you may, in your own conditions, be able to direct sow it. Either way, it's a great thing to get started, and once it matures, having your own head of cauliflower that you can harvest and eat really is just going to be an absolute delight. Right, every month I give you my one seed that if you sow nothing else, you have to sow this, and it's something that I've chosen that I know is going to either grow really easily for you or it's going to give you a really nice special crop. And for November, it's going to be something that's really easy to grow, and it's these broad beans. Yes, it's kind of simple. Yes, they're maybe a bit run-of-the-mill, but trust me, there is nothing like growing your own. So the variety that I've chosen is broad bean super aquadulce. It's a really tough, hardy variety that is going to cope with good winter conditions outside. The great thing about sowing and growing broad beans at this time of year is they need so little care to get them started and to get them through the winter. If you want, you can sow them into pots, let the plant develop in the pot and then plant them out. Or all you need to do is just direct sow them into the ground. And that's particularly great at the moment when you've cleared space and you're maybe looking at bare earth and thinking, what can I cover this earth with now that's not only going to just grow and get through the winter, but give me some kind of really good kickback? Broad beans are the answer to this. Go and get some, they're not expensive, and get sowing. So you can see that even though it's November, there are still great opportunities to be sowing and growing plants that you're going to love. But autumn isn't just a time for sowing, and I made a video recently on how to make your own brilliant lasagna planted spring bulb container. Go and check that out. And also a video that I've linked here as well about how to make your garden's secret weapon, a fantastic soil improver that's free and really easy to make. And until next time, see you later.